gets the herd as well, and you'll get to meet the herd here in a minute. My clients, I'm just so excited. Every day I get to help people live their dreams, and my clients are doing amazing things. Last year I had several that doubled their income. Doubled their income. Others created exciting new brands, added new dimensions to their work, and had deeper connections with their clients. Really incredible stuff. And one I helped position to achieve the CEO position of her dreams. And now I'm her executive coach, so pretty cool stuff. I can't wait to help her on this new journey. So let's get started. All right, so there's 3 things that I know for absolute certain. And I know that you can create something out of nothing. And the reason the nothing has the little quotes around that is that there really is no such thing as nothing. Because the minute you have a thought, that thought has energy, and that becomes a something. Now, you may not pursue the thought, you may not take it to the next level, you may just let it drift away, but that thought still has energy. So you can create something out of apparent nothing. You can make money doing what you love. Now, who believes that? Oh, you guys are so progressive, that's awesome. All right, so here's what happened to me. I grew up thinking, well, there's 2 ways that you can make a living in the world. You can either make a lot of money and be so stressed out and exhausted all the time that you can't enjoy it, all right? But you're rich. And then there's the other people who are doing what they love, and they're painting and they're writing and they're doing all this great stuff, and they're broke, right? I mean, who teaches us this stuff? But this is what I grew up believing. And I'm here to tell you that you can not only make money doing what you love, but you can actually thrive doing what you love. And then the coolest thing is that at any point you can reinvent yourself. Anybody out there reinvented? Yeah, so you heard Kristina. I was an environmental scientist for 20 years. Right? I love data, I love analysis, I love trends, I love helping. It's so incredibly fun. I also ran an IT staffing and recruiting firm and took that thing from 0 to 2.1 million in the first year of startup. So lots of reinventions going on there. I've also dabbled in horse training. I've done all kinds of things. Enough about that. Anyway, the point is that you can control your destiny. You just need to know it and own it and go for it. We're going to talk a little bit today about some tips on how to make this happen. So, being a scientist type, I like evidence. You know, it's one thing to just believe, but it's another thing when you actually have tangible results. So I love telling you guys about it. The people that doubled their revenue, and I'm very quantitative. I love the quantitative benefits because I think that's really important. Well, this is one of my quantitative benefits. I grew up in a good family, wonderfully supportive family, but we didn't have a lot of money. And horses were for rich people, and the mantra in my family was, we can't afford it. Oh, that sounds great, but we just can't afford it. No, we can't afford it, we can't afford it. Okay. So that was that. So horses were kind of out of the question. So 15 years ago, my husband and I bought the little property on the top there, and you can see, we were so excited, and it's just awesome. And you can see that electric fencing. That was our high-tech solar-powered electric fencing that we installed ourselves. Let me tell you, it's really hard to just tap it into the ground. But here's the thing. For any of you guys out there that are using solar-powered electric, make sure you have a battery backup electric. Like, plug in. Because what happened was a few times, the clouds go out and then come in, and then it gets night. Night does happen. And the horses end up in your backyard. They end up in somebody else's backyard. They're all over the place. So, so now, over the years, we kind of re-engineered the entire place so that the horses would stay out of the fancy barn next door. And we now have this place. And this is my really exciting equestrian estate, I call it. It's not really an estate, but I call it. It's an estate compared to what it was before. And that's where I love to take people out, and I call it the place where the magic happens, because it's amazing what happens at this facility. Okay, so the first thing about daring to live your dream is to dare to dream. And a lot of times we get so busy in our lives that we're so responsible. You have bills, you have to be here, you have to show up at work, that you kind of forget to take the time out and just dream and think about possibilities for your life. So just for a moment, if you'd like, I'd like for all of us to dare to dream together. So maybe swallow that little bite you just took. You could dream and eat. I guess multitask is fine. And let's all close our eyes look around with all of your senses. Where are you? What's the weather like? Are you outside? Are you inside? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? Are you eating anything? Are you eating something yummy? What does it taste like? Just let yourself be right there. Yeah, beautiful. And when you're ready, go ahead and bring yourself back to the room. So how many of you guys were at the office? No, really? Come on. How about that? How many of you guys were at the beach? Oh yeah, the beach is always a good one. How many of you guys were eating? Nobody was eating? I never eating. Ooh, what were you eating? You want to share? Cake? Oh, what kind of cake? Any kind of cake? Okay, excellent. All right. So what I help people do is tap into the other 90% of their potential. And one way to tap into the other 90% of your potential is to use your imagination. Because your brain doesn't really know if you're really at the beach or if you're just in your head at the beach. If you really place yourself there with all of your senses. Right? So this is the way you start to activate your imagination. You start to use your whole entire brain to start to see possibilities for your life. So this is me up there, and forever I've been dreaming about dogs and horses, and dogs and horses. It's just what I dream about. So look what happened. Holy cow. There's 5. That's my herd right now. I used to have 10. I had to kind of scale back. My husband was about ready to kill me. Because people were starting to drop off free horse. I mean, come on, there's no such thing as a free. Like, honey, it's free. It cost me $20,000 to take care of during the year. But anyway, this is my current herd, and these are all teachers at my program that I call Alpha Horse Leadership Training for Humans. And what we do in this program is we go through and we talk about, we explore how energy and intention help you manifest your dreams, meet your goals, lead people appropriately. It's very interesting because these horses, they totally have it going on. I mean, it's like talk to the hoof. If you're not in your place of absolute congruence and authenticity, they don't want anything to do with you. Or they get confused. It's all okay. And they're reflecting back our emotional state. So they're giving you honest feedback. And they give it to me every single day. And I have to tell you, sometimes it's very humbling. Because I thought I learned that lesson already. And then they're sharing it again. And you gotta do a little more in there. So this is what we do. The picture right below me is my horse Dixie, who's 28 years old now. And she'll be 28 actually in May. And she is a retired eventing horse, my main competition partner for years and years. And I got tossed on the ground, I can't even tell you how many times. My friend Kara is here, and she can attest to that. The rest of these guys, a couple of them were born on our farm. The one on the upper left is Callie. She's from Germany. She was supposed to be my amazing international dressage prospect. Turned out she hates dressage. Who knew? Who knew, really? I mean, it's like people. Horses, they have preferences. I'm like, yeah, it's not really my thing. I'm like, what do you mean it's not your thing? I just pay this money and I got a loan to get to buy you. Anyway, what her real calling is to teach the people about being in their place of true authenticity and power. And she's so good at it that people call her the Cali Llama. Yeah, and the rest of you guys will get to. All right, so here they are at work. This is Callie on the left teaching the class. Looking a bit bored. She's like, Mom, get on with it. And then Lila is one of my mares. She was born on our place. She's on the right. And the curious thing here is if you look at the photo on the right, look at the legs of the horse and the 3 people. Isn't that crazy? All right, so this is, the horse becomes, as the group works together, they become the physical manifestation of the harmony, or their lack of, in the group. So all of these people are fully aligned, fully present, working together. They didn't even know each other. And this just happens. So it's validation, it's absolute evidence that there's something incredible happening there. So anyway, these guys get all kinds of testimonials. They have way more than I do. It's an honor to work with them. So then the other thing is, in the spirit of dreams here, I love dogs. So I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to create a program for dogs. So I created this little program called Get Grounded with Your Dog. This is for people that may be not so into the horse thing, but still want to connect and get out with nature and kind of learn a little bit about this. So I do this a few times a year, and people show up. So this is really amazing. So if you build it, they will come, just like Sterling Women opened this whole place for us, a place where we can share, be together, and learn, and grow, and make new connections. It's a beautiful thing. So you build it, they will come. Oh, yeah, the book. Okay, so here's the other thing. So people have been telling me for years, you gotta write a book, you gotta write a book. So it's always been a dream to write a book. So I've had fits and starts for about 10 years of books. I mean, I have outlines. Anybody trying to write a book? No? Okay, so you guys know what I'm talking about. So it goes and goes and goes. Well, I broke my foot in December, and I said, all right, you write the book. Your butt has to be in a chair anyway, so you might as well be productive and finish this thing. So what I tried to do here is, it's coming out in May, it'll be on Amazon if anybody's interested. But really, this is kind of the best of the work that I've done with the horses and lessons that I've learned as a business strategist over the years that you can apply directly to your life. So it's not, you can read it without the horse piece, but the horses are just totally amazing. So hopefully that'll help some folks. But this is, again, just in the spirit of going after your dream and making it a reality. So what's the formula? So I'm always looking at the science type. So what's the formula here? Well, the formula is pretty simple. I have to kind of think about it, break it down, and say, what's the simplest form? Well, you got a little passion, you put a little plan to that passion, because passion without a plan can get crazy, right? So how many people out there know about passion? Yeah? Okay? All right, so passion is all over the place. It becomes disparate energy. So you need a little plan so you can focus all of that passion and give some construct to it so that you can take it, focus it, and drive it in one direction. And when you do that, you become very, very empowered. And you take action in accordance with that plan, and you can become incredibly successful. So it seems pretty simple. So how come everybody's not rich? We have passion, we have a little plan to do this. Took action, yeah, lots of good doing going on. How come, what's missing? Okay, so here's where we have to go a little deeper. This is what I want to share with you guys today. This is really, really important. If you don't remember anything, other than there's this girl up here being crazy on the stage, think about this math. I know it's after lunch, don't fall asleep. This is math, you gotta pay attention. Who knew that living your dream involved math? Well, this is this equation. Beliefs, what you believe about yourself, what you were told as a kid, what you still hold true, plus the decisions that you make, plus your actions equal your results. So both sides of that equation are equal. They're always equal. It's like 2 plus 3 plus 1 equals 6. It doesn't equal 7. 2 plus 3 plus 2 doesn't equal 6. Ever. There's very specific factors that make up that number, and they're always equal. So if you're getting some results, if you look around your life and you say, gosh, you know, I thought I was going to do better than that. I don't know what happened. I just don't know. Go to this equation, check your beliefs. What do you believe to be true about this result? What decision did you make that's based on this belief? What action did you take that was based on that decision? That will show you the result that you got. So if you want that to be 7, 2 plus 3 plus 1 equals 7, you have to do something to one of those numbers, right, on the left-hand side. You can't be static. It has to change. So this is pretty key. So what happens is, the beliefs that we hold drive this whole process, and the beliefs and values are kind of linked. So I'm going to think for a minute about what you hold most dear in your life. What do you value? Top three values that you hold most dear in your entire life. Just hold that just for a moment. Okay, so a lot of my clients will say family. How many of you guys said family? Yeah. How many of you guys said love? How many of you guys said health? Yeah. Okay. So those are some of the more common ones. There's other ones like my dog, rock. There's lots of different things. But here's the thing. Now, when you look around your world and you say, family is my number one value, health is my number one value, how is that being expressed in your life? How is that showing up? How are you honoring that value in your life or your business? Both. I kind of look at things holistically, life and business, all part of you. So how are they being expressed? So one way to check it out, because again, I'm kind of looking for evidence, is in your calendar and in your checkbook, where you spend your time and your money. So here's the thing. Right. So I have a lot of people that say, oh, family is the most important thing in my life. And it might be a CEO that I'm working with. And they travel all the time. All the time. Hardly ever see their kids. Make a lot of money, but family is number one. Really? Well, what is it about family? So go a little deeper. What is it about family that you really value? Is it actually being with them, or is it providing for them? Because providing for them is a hugely valuable service, right? So if you're making $100,000 a year, but you're flying all over the place, you're not seeing your kids, but you're able to provide them with education and food and clothes and all this other stuff, great. But if you're seeking the contact and the intimacy and the day-to-day interaction, and you're beating yourself up all the time because you're not seeing them because you're on travel making all kinds of money, you've got an issue. Same thing with health. People say, oh, it's health. Even health coaches. I work with a lot of small women-owned small businesses, so health coaches, that's a big thing coming up. I love it, it's wonderful. Health coaches, they get out there and they could tell me they're so exhausted and they're so stressed out and they're overwhelmed. Really? How about that? So I have to go back in there and talk about values and beliefs. What do you believe about things? So just for fun, you can think about that, about where your values are being expressed in your business and your life. This is some way that I've decided to combine mine. I love horses, I love teaching, I love just sharing, and I love developing and really getting into the nitty-gritty and analyzing what makes things work, and then how can I break it down into its most simple form and share it in a way that will have huge impact for people. Love doing that. So this is one of the things that I do. The reason why it's so important to understand this values piece is because it empowers us when we're in a place of absolute authenticity. When you are in your authentic power, you are balanced. This happens when what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're saying, and what you're doing are all in alignment. Absolutely right there. And you know it because you're speaking with conviction, you're right there, you're going, yes, this is it. And everyone can feel your confidence. Everyone feels it. This is your place of power, your place of resonance. So if you're a business owner, you want to be in that space. When you go to a networking event, you want to be in that space. You want to be your authentic self. You don't want to be mamsy-pamsy. It'll take you a little bit of business card. What? You can talk to 150 people and get nothing. What a total waste of time. Talk to 2 and go deep. World's all about relationships and connections and trust. It's not how many people you talk to, it's the depth of the connections that you make that can change your life. So, here we are with this little equation again. Beliefs plus decisions plus actions. When you're in your place of power, you get all the little happy face with the thumbs up. You're like, I'm so rocking, this is so fun. I'm making money, I'm changing lives, I feel great, I'm energized. Yeah? Anybody feel that sometimes? Come on, I know you do. Good job. Excellent, right on. Okay, so what happens if you're kind of not there? What happens? When you're feeling a little stressed and you're overwhelmed, it's like some of these health coaches are telling you about. Lawyer is huge. Doctor is huge. I mean, I was a total type A. I'm a recovering type A. I am I'm going to just claim it. I'm a B+. You guys believe me? I'm a B+. Maybe with A+ tendencies. Especially when I was writing that book. Oh my gosh, the last chapter in that book is called, what is it called? Know When to Stop and Conquer Perfectionism. I couldn't stop writing that thing. I was needling that thing like you wouldn't even believe. I was getting into crazy perfectionist type A mode. What happened to B+? Hello? Went gone. So anyway, whatever, I worked it out. But this is what happens. As where it's supposed to be. The biomechanics are all good, everything's working for you. But if you got a kink, something's off, and you're trying to go through life with a kink, it's the same thing if you have a mental kink or a values conflict. Your beliefs plus your decisions plus your actions starts to give you an undesired result, and you start to sabotage. So I have this little inner saboteur that if I don't take breaks, it makes me go eat junk food. Seriously. Anything, I don't even know it. It's like subconscious. Wait, right in there. Next thing, I'm McDonald's line, I'm getting a quarter pound of cheese and a fries, the whole thing, and then I'm eating it, and then after, after I eat it, then I have awareness. And I'm like, oh, for crying out loud, why couldn't I have the awareness before? So this is what happens. All right, so here's what we have to do in order to sniff this stuff out. I have to get really clear. This is my horse, Fresco. He is the king of transformation. He's been with me since before he was born. I bought him in utero. Luckily he came out and he was cute, so that was good. I wouldn't recommend buying anything in utero, but this worked out. Anyway, so the transformation process, so say you want to make a change. Just a little change or a big change, doesn't matter. This applies to everything. Doesn't matter where you are. First you become aware. Like, oh, I really should do something. I should do something. I don't know what, but this doesn't feel good. And you go around with that, and it's draining energy out because you're constantly aware. It's almost better if you're not aware, but once you become aware, you just can't get off it, right? Now you're aware, so then you decide, you're like, okay, I gotta do something. And that's what happens. People call me, I heard you, I saw you, I don't know, but I just need to do something. Okay. So what happens at this point is they're on this little precipice, and they're really scared, because if they commit and make an investment in themselves, whether it's with me, and it doesn't have to be with me, it could be in a piece of equipment, like a big piece of machinery, it could be in a new thing for doctor's office, like, I don't know, I've been working on this little piece of equipment, it worked pretty well, but it's going to cost me $150,000 to get this new thing, but it's going to be super cool, and you finally do it, like, that thing better produce, right? So you're in that place of fear. So you make the decision, and then after you make the decision, you're like, oh, good. Now you need to make some changes. Because the old you doesn't apply to the you you're trying to be. And if you try to bring the old you to the new space, you're going to have a big old problem. So you got to make some changes. And this is where there's a point of conflict as well. There's always like, oh wait, that's what the old me used to drive through McDonald's. Yeah, I get that sundae, man, that thing was good. Put their nuts on it. Wait a minute, it's a new me. I'm getting the salad without the dressing, without the crispy chicken that I love, maybe with the grilled chicken. Right? So these are all the changes that you have to make. And then the thing is, you have to adapt to these changes. You have to adapt the rest of your life so that these changes can become sustainable. Because if you don't have sustainable change, what happens? Here we go, back to the old self, and then what happened? I was on a roll. I thought I was doing really good for how many years? I was doing really good for 3 months. And then I got really busy. My family was in town, and this happened, and that happened, and this happened. It's because the old you showed up. You didn't bring the new you to the new challenge. You didn't adapt. Causes conflict. And then after you adapt, you kind of come through that process, and then you grow. You're like, ooh, I'm transformed. For a moment, until the next thing. So the key here is to understand where you are in this process and to have empathy with yourself so you can see where you are and not beat yourself up relentlessly because you're not there. You're here, and that's wonderful. We can only be in the present, right now. It's all we have. It's all we have. So be in the present with empathy for where you are and excitement for the future, knowing that at any point you can reinvent yourself, even if you slipped. Who cares? Today's a new day. Okay, so the action plan. It's all about action, too. Words don't do anything without the action. A lot of people call up, oh yeah, rah, let's do it, let's go. All right, I'm in. There we go, we got some action steps, and let's see you the next time. Okay, what happened? I'm out. So let's make sure the action steps are feasible. I use a lot of SMART goals, make sure that they're really specific, measurable, achievable, timely, all that kind of stuff that I learned from corporate and all that comes in handy. But one of the big things is to set your goal. It doesn't have to be a big goal, it can be a little goal, it doesn't matter what kind of goal, but to write it down. Because there's been evidence, that written goals, people achieve written goals 4 times more likely than they do if they just kind of talk about it. I don't know, something about this writing thing that just makes you go, ooh, yeah, now I'm committed. And then think about, what do I need? Who do I need? You might need some different people in your life. What actions do I need to take? Make a list, get going with that. And then the biggie is, what am I willing to sacrifice? Because I did this for years. I just added, oh yeah, I can do that. I mean, I was doing business coaching while I was working full-time as director of program strategy for an international engineering firm. While I had a boarding barn at the time with a bunch of dressage people. And I was a crazy person. I was everywhere. And then I'm trying to get new business cards. You can't do that well. I know, because I did it poorly. And it wasn't good, and it had a lot of repercussions, and that's bad. So I'm trying to change and adapt, and going through the same thing myself. So you have to think about, what am I willing to sacrifice? What's most important to me? And do those things. Okay, so then you have to take action, and when you take action, sometimes you get overwhelmed and scared. Because it is scary, it's a new space. You're not used to this, it's not comfortable. And yet the old you and your old beliefs are going to want to pull you back. And they're going to want to pull you back hard. Right? They're going to challenge you. They're going to challenge your conviction and your commitment to move forward into a new space and offer something new and wonderful to the world. So you have to check your values, connect with your why. Why am I doing this? What's driving me? Why am I doing this? And make sure that you're always connected to that place. Because otherwise you're going to start to question, especially when it gets hard. Make your decision to recommit. I decide every single day to commit to this purpose that I've decided to pursue. Every day, I wake up, I set my intention, all right, let's just get after it, let it unfold. There's greatness to be done. Every day. And then the other thing is to get help. I never used to get help. Type A+, we don't ask for help. We just do it. We power through. We go. We're supposed to figure it all out. Supposed to have all the answers. Supposed to know. Well, I did that for years. And then I realized, oh my gosh, there's all these people out there that can help me. And I started hiring them. Now I'm like hiring everybody. I hired a book coach. I hired other mentors. Got people in California. And I'm working, what do you want to do? Like, well, Shari, you got to dig deep. Okay. But I'm telling you, it really, really works. And then, of course, my favorite little equation here, beliefs plus decisions plus action. So if you change what you believe about what's possible for you, the whole rest of the equation gives you a different result because you've changed that one factor, just that one thing. It just funnels all the way through and you get a different result. Way cool. Just try it. Try it with something little. It's really fun. Test it out. And then when you're taking action, make sure to take the kind of action that is going to yield the biggest impact. Don't just do to be doing. Here's one thing. How busy you are does not define your worth. Right? There's a lot of people with these crazy to-do lists. I'm so busy. And they think somehow by being busy, that makes them, it increases their self-worth. It doesn't. It's impact. Fewer connections, deeper. And then finally, just for questions, just remember that you can create something out of nothing. You can make money doing what you love, or you can flourish doing what you love, and at any point you can reinvent yourself because you really do control your destiny. So, thank you guys, and I'm here for questions if you have any.